Truthiites, I believe.
Yeah. Purification.
Truth.
Truth. Okay.
No,
well,
truth.
Thank you. Oh, it's truth. Neville got truth.
I believe I would trust in that.
Good job.
All right. So truth is relative. When you are 8, you have a completely different system of truth than when you are 13. And again, by the time you're 18, you have a completely different concept of truth. So truth is relative too. Now there is the idea of universal truth, yes, which we have not arrived at, as a group certainly. But there's the idea that truth is, in a way, germane to circumstance around us. But more so the word trust would be investigated there, which is something we can talk about. Go ahead.
I was just going to comment on truth before we go into
Sure.
calls. That truth really isn't a matter of hiding whether you stole a cookie out of a cookie jar. Truth is getting out of the world of measurement, because the only time that we become something that we're not is when we're measuring, because it's only when we're measuring that we're not measuring up. So live more in the experience, and your truth is just a byproduct of that. And we have our first call.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
Hi, caller. What's your name, please?
Hi, this is Merced, and I'm just calling for a general reading from Mary. Thank you, and I'm going to hang up.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Thank you.
We're adjusting levels there for that moment.
Levels. Levels. Okay. Okay. Whoops. Well, I got 4 cards. I guess that was supposed to be. Okay, the first card, fighting. Clouds representing thoughts. We can see this person's kind of having a tug of war with themselves about, maybe a decision or something like that. And one thing that when we're in that mode, when we're like fighting against ourselves, we tend to put up the defenses on the outside world too. So it's saying that there comes a time to go ahead and let that down and let the love in. And the ripeness card can mean that now's the time to make that call, that letter, write the resume. Just instead of staying in that stalemate, now's the time to just open up and move past that. And past lives are talking about literally past lives. There can be a lot of things going on with you right now that are rooted in past lives. But I feel also to start looking at some of the cycles or the repetitive patterns in your life. Like, do you leave a job after 2 years all the time, or are there relationships that seem to run the same similar course? Because it's a great opportunity for you to step out of, that measurement truth into your personal real truth. Because when you do it, you never fail. And I know there is no eagle in there, but I was seeing an eagle around here, and I feel that an eagle is a guide of yours that's coming to help you get a larger view on things instead of the microcosm.
Now, while we're between calls, let's talk again a little bit about the planetary consciousness.
Okay.
And the idea of becoming conscious of our planet, will at one point or another reveal a number of things, one of which is there is the heart of our planet, as there is any of us have a heart. And it is always from the heart that we are generous. The brain would not particularly create generosity compared to the heart. The heart must spill forth with an unending trough of love, which will create apparently a lot of phone calls. So, at any rate, hi caller, what's your name, please?
My name is Bernard.
Hello.
What can we do for you?
How you doing? I like the reading, please.
Okay. Bernard. That's a nice name.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. And the first card we get, this thunderbolt, it shows a person kneeling in its chakra system, and that thunderbolt comes to knock those belief systems, those people off. And really, we do get loop tapes of other people's thoughts and other people's measurements that we carry around with us our whole life. And now it's like you're really doing some inner searching where you're saying, I've got to let go of some of this and not let it be, I got to live my life for me. And if you look at that, boy, look at those 2 cards. I rarely see those 2 come together, come out at the same time. This is saying exactly that those other voices are, making you at a point where you're not able to think clearly for yourself in that making decisions. You know, like if we had a new job offer and it's, well, like my family is, what will they do if I do this? And we start thinking about all the implications.
Exactly.
Take it and just say, what about me? What would I do? You can still consider other people, but you must find your truth before you make your decision. And if you look at the guilt card, that's also saying every time you act on your behalf, you're not really getting the satisfaction from it because then there's guilt involved. So you do the thing so you don't feel guilty, but then you're not living your life. So I would highly suggest cover some of the areas of your life, you know, write down and say, what would I do if it were just me and there was no judgment? And then do that, you know, do that, and you can do that kind and lovingly too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, thank you,
Well,
Bernard.
thank you, yeah. Now, this idea that our planet has a heart, and then the heart of the Mother Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And if you would choose to go into meditation to experience the heart of the Mother Earth, and in this experience of this meditation, one may find the knowledge that there are a lot more phone calls.
What's the
Okay,
knowledge?
so
Just say that real quickly, that's fine.
there is, well, it continues
It's-
on. Let me just
okay,
explain
okay,
the
sure.
point when we
Okay.
get back to it. Hi, caller. What's your name, please?
Sherry,
Jerry. All right. What can we do for you?
I would like a reading for Mary.
Okay. All
Thank
right,
you.
Sure. My pleasure. Thanks for calling. We always appreciate the calls. My cards seem particularly slippery tonight. I love that. That's good. Okay. First card we get. I love this card because she is in such a state of peace when she turns in and listens to her own voice instead of the voices of everybody around her. And then she's, and what I mean by voices of everyone around her, it's the measuring voices. And she turns in and she hears the real voices of her guides and teachers and angels. And I feel like there's a lot of contact with you on that level. And the patience card is saying something that you have planted, a seed that you've planted, an idea, a creative endeavor is getting ready to happen. And start trusting. You know, instead of that waiting, not sure if it's coming, just trust that it is and walk forward with it. And the no-thingness is the void from which all things spring forth, and it's also, to me, the card of making a decision. It's time to make a decision. I feel like there were some things that you were waiting for happening and you aren't sure if they're coming, so you're delaying making a decision. And this is a time to just act as if, make the decision, and everything will come flowing in much better.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you.
Yeah, when
Okay. So the heart.
the heart of the Mother Earth. So meditate on the heart of the Mother Earth, and you may indeed suddenly have the revelation that there is a place in the heart of the Mother Earth that is for you and no one
You
else.
alone.
You alone. Now, don't picture yourself surrounded by mud and earthworms and rocks, and then this
That's
little
okay
tiny
if you
place.
like that.
Well, you could, certainly you might. Rather picture an enormous place, a place that is grand in every sense of the word, that is not necessarily buried under the earth, but is indeed a place of enormous safety, and I know there is no such word, but truly the
sensation
idea
of that,
of,
yeah.
and the sensation of pleasure, the idea of this grand place. And then upon achieving this, and this is a place you can visit any time, then to continue in this would be to look into your own heart and find that there is indeed the same setup, identical, one-to-one, and then to find that place within you, and that would unite you with a particular consciousness that would be planetary, and that we could do that as, you know, a guided meditation. And we may consider that in one of the
I
meditation
believe
evenings.
you've done that one time on a new moon.
Yeah.
From Drumville.